Hey there, it's Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out the Baroque Bundle from Orchestral Tools. The Baroque Bundle is part of the Sine Bundles range, and this features two libraries. They are Miroire and Berlin Harpsichords. Miroire is all about period instruments and voices, and there are a total of 24 instruments included. This one downloads at 33 gigabytes Sine Art compressed and would normally cost €399. Then we have the Berlin Harpsichords, and there are two harpsichords included, and this one is Sine Art compressed at 5.7 gigabytes and would normally cost €99. Please note that both libraries would have VAT added on as well. But as part of the Baroque Bundle, you can pick this up for €299 plus VAT. So it's a huge saving, and these libraries just ooze character. They transport you back to the 17th century, and yeah, they're just really, really detailed and fun to use. Everything is sampled at 24-bit and 48 kilohertz, and of course they run in Orchestral Tools free Sine player. Now, you can obviously check out demos of the individual products on the Berlin Harpsichord and Miroire respective pages. However, this is looking at both of these instruments. So the composition I've done is very, very short, but it is showing how the two libraries complement each other and work together. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. And here we have the free Orchestral Tools Sine player loaded up. And I like at this point to thank Orchestral Tools for sending over a Baroque bundle so we can make this video. I'm a huge fan of the Baroque era, so I'm very, very excited about this one. And the fact it's sent over for free does not influence our decisions or thoughts or ideas. It's all down to how the instrument sounds and, of course, our composing experience with it. And you can see Miroire is sat next to Talent, which is one of my all-time favourite libraries ever in the world. So my expectation of Miroire is really, really high. And as I've spent hours with it now, I can confidently say Miroire is just of the same high standard of Talent. And we're going to talk about why. So we're going to start from Miroire and look at the harpsichords later, but we have 5 folders. We've got inspirational combinations, strings, continuo, choir, and individual woodwinds and brass. Now, the continuo is basso continuo is not a harpsichord playing a continuo there. And also the inspirational combinations, I'm going to skip over at the moment, but we will come back to them because I just want to play the individual instruments first. So we've got Baroque violins, and I'm going to load them all up. This is every articulation, and that loaded pretty quickly. It's not a huge RAM footprint. And let's just hear the gorgeousness of these violins. I went a little bit too far, but you can hear the sampling is incredible. And you get character, you get nuance, you get detail, but you also get the very minor imperfections in the sound, which is what would have been of the era of the 17th century or 1600s, 1750. Instrument production was slightly different, and a lot of these are very they are authentic instruments of that era being recorded. So it's all captured beautifully. You just hear the sounds, like the room sound, etc. It just, yeah, sounds amazing. So let's just hear some sustains. That sound gorgeous. Some soft sustains. Amazing. Portato. Short marcato. Staccato. So these are very velocity sensitive. Probably hear me hammering my MIDI controller. And the staccatissimo. I've got a new setup at the moment and I just missed my MIDI controller. It's almost like the bow is just jumping or bouncing on the strings. It's gorgeous. Lovely. Tremolo. Some trills. Ornaments. Very important for Baroque playing. Lovely. And if I was to remove all of that, then load up the violas, you're going to see the same articulations. And it's pre-panned as well, so you can hear slightly more in your right. So here's some soft sustains. Let's just jump into a long marcato. Staccatissimo again. Yeah, I love the just the velocity control. Ominous trilling and some ornaments. Beautiful. So that's the violas, and then we have the basso continuo. And lo and behold, we have almost the same articulations. There is just one ornament missing. Sounds incredible. This growls. I just love it. Let's play some staccato. And some tremolo. Amazing. And there we go. So that is the basso continuo. Then we have the choir. The choir. I'd always say that Orchestral Tools do amazing choirs. Because they do. In fact, I'm just going to load up the whole articulation. So this is the female choir. Just such dynamic range. They've got some long syllables. And syllables short. These are time aligned. And again, very velocity sensitive. So that is the female choir. And in the male choir, again, we get the same. So if I just play really slowly on the mod wheel. It really opens up about 70%, but it's kind of like the sweet spot. Amazing. Let's just play some short syllables. So it's never going to be like your giant, let's overpower an orchestra, epic choir. But think about it, how many sort of smaller choirs are there? There are none more small. That makes no sense. And that is the male choir. Sounds superb. And then we've got the individual woodwinds and breaths, and I love the instruments here. So I'm just going to load just the sustained legato. Let's turn up a little bit so you can hear the detail. Love it. And I'm playing sort of like wiggly things. So you can hear how agile it is. Love it. Let's hear some trills. Yeah, it just syncs beautifully. And again, you got those imperfections coming through in a nice character-driven way. Here's a Baroque oboe. Lovely. Let's hear the oboe d'amour. Oboe of love. I was going to say it's nearly Valentine's Day, but it really isn't. That's a long way away. Oh dear. And let's just hear some sustains. Oh no, let's do it with the soft sustains. It went a little bit noir there, which I like. Now we've got the alto recorder. Just sounds amazing. I have to say, as a high school music teacher, recorders used to be the stuff of nightmares. But listen to the sound of that. It's just incredible. So let's just hear the shorts. Lovely. Then we've got some brass. We've got the Baroque horn. It's got a really cool release. And you can turn the releases off. I'll say off, extend them. There you go. Lovely. Let's just hear some soft, sorry. And I suppose good opportunity to just go to the mic mixer. There's our close. So I'll bring that up. So it's pretty dry. And let's hear just the tree. And of course, blended. Yeah, sounds really cool. Baroque horn 2. Yeah. So, as I keep saying, the sampling is just, enchanting. And it's that character that's really getting me. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Trumpets sound lovely. Let's just hear the second one. So I'm only just playing one or two articulations. Yeah. So I will try and put it into words. It's like, say, let's take the Berlin series. Now, I actually don't have the Berlin series, so let's take Berlin Inspire. I love Inspire 1 and 2. All of their sampling is, again, of really, really high quality, and there is no imperfection in the samples, if that makes sense. So it is, it's classed as a sketching tool for many. I use it all the time. The Berlin Orchestra Inspire 1 or 2, they're just pre-built ensembles. They sound amazing. And yeah, there's character because it's recorded at Teldec's scoring stage. And it sounds incredible. And if you're doing scoring, just orchestral scoring and you want everything to sound pristine and lovely, that is perfect. The Berlin series is perfect. The arcs are perfect. All of this is perfection. And Miroire is capturing the characteristics of the Baroque instruments as they would have been played and as they'd sound. And that is an incredible feat in itself. So Miroire is for those composers who want the character, want the detail, and want the glorious imperfections. There we go. Now, let's move on to the harpsichords. 2 harpsichords, French harpsichord, Italian. Let's load up the French one. Sounds wonderful. But a little bit quiet, so I'm just going to bring it up. I'm just going to reach for my sustain pedal. I'll try and play some notes out of coherence. Lovely. Do need to be wary of copyright strikes, but it just wants you to sort of do a yeah, and just sort of move around. But the harpsichords sound amazing. Brilliant. So that is the first position, and then you got staccato. Now I'm just going to globally bring up the channel. And when you're looking at different instruments at the same time, different libraries, sometimes there's a volume imperfection. But that's okay when you compose. Let's just bring it up here. Absolutely love it. Sustains 2 times 8. Interesting story. When I was trained to be a teacher many, many years ago, a student told me how the harpsichord, how it was played in great detail. And I told them they're wrong. So if they're watching, that's 14 years ago. Yeah. And also, I apologise for that. Because I was wrong completely. Sustains back 8. And this sounds incredible. We all have to agree. And you got so many different timbres. Like the first articulation is very, very full. And then go into the back 8. Sustains, harp, stop. Yep. And staccato effects. So the wonderful effects noises. And they got the Italian harpsichord, Saints 2x8. I wish there's a high G at the end of that. And of course, it's sine, so there can be. Beautiful. If you want it there. Now, both of these harpsichords just sound brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, the sampling's just incredible. And I'm going to leave it there. Reason being, I don't want to go through absolutely everything and then you pick up the library, you know exactly what to expect. Part of the joy of picking up libraries is exploring. So, yeah, Berlin Harpsichords, amazing. Miroire, amazing. Now, I've put together a very, very quick composition. I had about 45 minutes to get it together. So I wanted to put in different Baroque features and create my own blends. And speaking of blends, I said we go back to it in Miroire. We have these inspirational combinations. So before we jump into the composition, I'm just going to quickly play through some of these. Orchestral shorts. Okay, so you can hear you've got a combination of different ensembles. It's got passion. And let's play Angel Choir. Sound great. And Lamento Ensemble. It's the last one I'm going to play. Actually, I will play Christmas Oratorio. At this point, I will mention that I played the mod wheel. Sorry, the pitch bend, not the mod wheel. Yikes. Beautiful. And the Christmas Oratorio. Lovely. So you've got these different inspirational combinations. These are blends of instruments from the library. Now, we are going to check out the composition. So it's very, very short. And again, like I say, it's just showing off how the two libraries complement each other really, really well. So without further ado, let's check out the composition. The composition is all about showing how well the Berlin Harpsichords work with Miroire. And I have to admit, I think it's incredible. It transports you right back to the 17th century. The quality of sampling is absolutely spot on. The room environments, the mechanical noises of the instruments, it just all adds to the detail and the character. Now, because it's a Baroque ensemble, I decided in this very short and straightforward demo to show off as many Baroque characteristics as I could. So we have a basso continuo, kind of. It is quite rigid and programmed, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But we have that going on. We've got some ornaments. We have polyphonic texture. It's very kinetic and fast. Got a circle of fifths. There's some pedaling going on. As much as I could in 50 seconds. The thing that grabbed me was just how great everything sounds and how easy it is to use. And it all started off with a French harpsichord. The detail is amazing and the clarity in the mix is as well. And then we have an Italian harpsichord, and this is actually playing a sort of pedaling line that I wrote on the viola first, but it just gives it movement. And yes, this is very much on the grid. I forgot to click that button there to make it slightly humanized, but it doesn't matter. It's the purpose of a demo. It still sounds great. And then we've got the viola. And the strings absolutely sound superb. Beautiful. Now, if you're eagle-eyed, you'll discover some of my really bizarre shorthand. Obviously, I'm using this staccatismo articulation, and that is kind of my shorthand for that. I don't know why I do it. When I write articulations, I don't write them out in full. Like my legato just says leg. It doesn't matter. I know that I'm doing it. It's a mistake. Sorry, it's not a mistake because I know I'm doing it. I do it all the time. But the staccatissimo is there. Anyway, let's carry on. So we have that, and combined, it all sounds beautiful. So then I wanted to add the choirs, because ever since I bought Metropolis Part 1, sorry, that's an album, Metropolis Arc 1, the choirs really stood out for me, and I've used them a lot. And then I bought the Time series, and the choirs are amazing. Then Tallinn, and I wrote a whole album using just Tallinn, and I love the Orchestral Tools choirs. So I wanted to get these choirs in, and they sound amazing. I'm not using them much, but they just sound gorgeous. I know Orchestral Tools sample instruments incredibly well, Their voice or vocal work is just on a different level. I love it. Anyway, then we've got a flute just playing a really, really simple run. And again, I love the woodwinds in this library. And why do I love the woodwinds? It's because they sound authentic. Not only do it have an amazing room sound, but just the instrumental sound is great. Like the imperfections sometimes, they don't have to be there, but I love how this last run ends. Yeah. And let's put it all together. Absolutely spot on. Now we got the B section, and I was playing the harpsichord, and again, this is what I'm saying, it's not a authentic continuo, because obviously that's a bass, continuous bass part with chords and harmonic structure throughout the piece, but I haven't programmed it in a human way, which was my mistake. So you can see the ornament is on the grid, so it sounds quite, I'm not going to say stiff, because it still sounds really, really good. It just, normally I'd humanize that. And now I'm starting to work out which ornament it is. Is it a tern or a mordant? It's been a long time. Next, oh, you can answer that in the comments. There we go. Now, next we have violins, because I love showing off the long articulations, and we have right, I've just confused myself. We've got Baroque oboe as well, which should be down with the wood with the winds, so we'll talk about that in a moment. Now we've got the longs, so I'm just going to play the sustains. So we've got viola and violins. So amazing sound. I love the attack, and the overall timbre of those strings is incredible. And then I wrote a melody line. I actually did it on the Baroque oboe, which I'll play in a moment. So if we just, I'll play it there. So the reason I've played that one first, there's a couple of rhythmical sort of differences between the Baroque part. But I'm going to play that on its own. But I was kind of inspired by the library's own combinations and sort of pre-made ensembles. So the Baroque oboe sounds like this. And I love, again, the authentic detail. And then if I just add the violins, it's kind of playing in unison, but not, and it's that's on purpose. And there we go. And I've put 90 milliseconds track delay on the oboe, but not the violin. So I felt it needed it there. And then if we add the staccatissimo part, so I'm going to play all of it just without the harpsichords for a moment. Beautiful. And then with the harpsichord, so you can hear that movement it provides. then we go into the final section, which is actually the same as the previous section, because I just think it connects together really well and sounds great, and I just love how all of this sounds. And there we have it. It is a short composition. It took about 45 minutes put together. I had a whale of a time doing it. And yes, obviously, we could extend it, make it more technical, change harmony, etc. Lots to do. But this was just to get a flavour really, really quickly of the kind of sounds these libraries produced when put together. So I am very, very impressed. And then my compositional thoughts are, it's really easy to use. So I'm using sort of CC1. There's Aftertouch on there, but I'm actually not really using that. But really, really simple to program. Again, like I say, I've done this on the grid. I would have made it a little bit more humanized, but again, it's so I'm just using a shortcut. Like the velocity, really, really responsive, so you don't have to go too crazy. Lots of great velocity layers. The overall timbre sounds amazing, and pretty much any instrument you load sounds fantastic, and it sounds authentic, and it sounds detailed, and that's why we like these libraries. As ever, we have some closing thoughts about the Baroque collection from Orchestral Tools. First of all, the harpsichords. I'm just going to say it, they are probably the best harpsichords I have ever heard, and the sampling is incredible. The detail, the sounds, the way it's been sampled in so many different ways, the different articulations, they're just really, really detailed, and I think they're great to use. So next time I need a harpsichord, I'm going to be reaching for the Berlin Harpsichords. Miroire. Now, yeah, it is just a time machine, I guess. That's probably the best way to describe it. Because so many authentic instruments have been sampled, that's why it sounds like it does. So with the detail, the sort of noises, the ambience surrounding the instruments, they're not perfect by today's symphonic standards. They're just full of Baroque character, and that's again why this library exists. And it's got some add-ons like the choirs. I love the pre-made ensemble ideas, and it does get you thinking and creating your own. And of course the other instruments that I didn't show off in the demo, like the brass is absolutely wonderful. There's some other wind instruments as well, and of course there's a whole range of articulations, and there's different mic positions as well. So really, for everything Baroque, it covers what you need. And then that kind of takes me to the next point. Yes, it's a detailed, authentic Baroque library, but you are not limited to composing in the Baroque style. So, for example, if you are a video game composer, and you're doing, there's dragons everywhere and stuff like that going on, this will work beautifully, because the sounds, again, it just sounds so authentic. And then I'm not saying it's a fantasy library, but yeah, you could use it in that application. If you just want to put some beats underneath, I mean, I could have on this composition just put like some sort of like heavy electronic beats, and you've suddenly got a hybrid piece of music. I don't know. There's just so many different ways that you could use these instruments, and that's what I think the beauty of it is. But as a detailed, authentic, amazing pair of libraries to compose Baroque music with, it is absolutely superb. Do I recommend picking this up? I certainly do. It's €299. That is an absolute bargain for all the content you're getting. All that leaves me to say is thank you once again to Orchestral Tools for sending over the Baroque bundle, the Baroque collection, for us to make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video. Let me know which ornament I was using, and any other comments. What would you use this for? What do you like about the library? If you're not done so already, please check out our other videos on YouTube, and of course subscribe to our channel. We are rapidly growing, and it's due to the amount of viewers that keep us coming back and making more content. Once you've done that, head over to sampleist.com to find out a little bit more about us. And finally, if you get a little bit of free time, please make some amazing music. Until next time, have a great day and take care.